Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Haribo!
So, today we are going to discuss the topic of Srila Jiva Gosvami. Before we discuss, let's sing the Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Kunja Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Jaya Panchatatra, परमहंस परविराजकाचार्य श्रोत्रशत श्रीमती शिवंगे शिलाई वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम पूर्ण राधा कुंजरी गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की सामवे भक्त वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamine Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanastu Krishne Madirastu Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So today we are going to discuss on the topic of Srila Jiva Gosvami, the crest jewel of Vraja Vasis, Vrindavan residents. So there is a prayer in glorification of Srila Jiva Goswami. So maybe I can just ask you to repeat this. Shri Rupa,
Shri Rupa,
Charana Dvandva,
Charana Dvandva,
Radhinam,
Radhiram,
Vrajavasinam,
Vrajavasinam,
Shri Jiva,
Shri Jiva,
Satatam Vande,
Satatam Vande,
Mandeshwananda,
Mandeshwananda,
Daina.
Daina.
So this is a glorification for Sri Jiva Goswami, that is said in the Bhakti Ratnagara. And the glorification is, so this is talking about Sri Rupa Charana. So Sri Jiva Goswami is serving the two lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Charanam Dvandva Ragina. Ragina means he is attached to serving Srila Rupa Goswami. Ragina, Raga. So we have got this concept of Raga and Dvesha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Ichha Dvesha Samukhena, Dvandva Mohena Bharata. So this Raga and Dvesha is what keeps us in this material world. This attachment for the things that I hanker for and running away from the things that I don't like. So it's like a compulsive behavior. A compulsive behavior to get attached to the things that gives me satisfaction and run away from the things that does not give me satisfaction. So that is what we are in this material world. We are, because of the basis of the body, that attachment is there. But Srila Jiva Goswami, he is Raginam Sri Rupa Charanam Dvandva. So Srila Jiva Goswami is attached to the two lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami. So this is the wonderful nature of devotional service. A devotional service, bhakti, para isha anubhava. Bhakti means it is an experience of transcendental existence. Viraktir anyatra syat. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhakti, para isha anubhava, viraktir anyatra syat. Three things happen at the same time, simultaneously. When we have love for Krishna, bhakti, we have the experience of the Lord. Para isha anubhava. Anubhava is experience. Para isha is of the Supreme Person. Viraktir anyatra syat. Automatically there is detachment from everything that has not to do directly with Krishna. So this is what is devotional service. And Srila Jiva Goswami was attached to the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami. And in the third line, we are saying that Sri Jiva Satatam Vande. So what we are saying is, O Sri Jiva Goswami, I am constantly praying to you. So this is what helps us in going forward in our devotional service. When we can somehow or other, like today is the disappearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami. So somehow or other, not only on these days, but as much as possible, if we can understand the significance of their work, of their life, somehow or other, if we can understand that will be a great use of this human form of life. So that's why the third line of the verse is saying, Sri Jiva Satatam Vande. Constantly, I am offering my obeisances to Sri Jiva Goswami. And the fourth line of this verse is very beautiful. Mande Shvananda Dainam. Beautiful. That line, what it is saying is, Manda. So in this age of Kali Yuga, Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyati Upadrita. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam by Srila Sukadeva Goswami mentions to Parikshit Maharaj that in this age of Kali, Prayen Alpayusha Sabhya. In this age of Kali, the duration of life is very less. A maximum person might live 100 years, or someone has got a Guinness record of living for 110 years or something. Right? So the age duration is limited, very limited. Kala Vasmi, this age of Kali, Yuge Jana, Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadrita. Four things are mentioned by Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Manda. And so, unfortunately, one is the intelligence is not developed. So, Sumanda Mataya. Because intelligence is not developed, one is not able to engage oneself in understanding one's original nature. And so, that is the goal of this human form of life. So, it is mentioned in the scriptures, Ahara Nidra Bhayamaithunamcha Samanya Metat Pashubhir Narana Dharmo hi Desham Adhiko Vishesho Dharmena Hina Pashubhir Narana. So what that means is eating, ahara, nidra, sleeping, bhaya is protecting oneself, and maithuna is reproducing. So these four things are common between all species of life. Even human beings and any other species of life, it is a common thing. So what is it that is distinguishing human being from other species of life? people might say that we have an evolved intelligence, and that is right. Right? We have an evolved intelligence, and that is the reason we are able to do so many wonderful things. And so we have created these aeroplanes that can go thousands of kilometers very fast. We reach from one place to another place so quickly, and we are still developing our transportation system. And there is so much. Externally, we are doing so much, and there is nothing wrong in doing externally. But at the same time, we have to try and understand our original nature. That cannot be done in any other species of life. And that is what is called dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. Dharma. Now, dharma is the characteristics. So Srila Prabhupada mentions the example. Like the characteristic of sugar is sweet. A sugar cannot be salty. But there are places where sugar is white and salt is also white. And if there are same types of grains, sometimes people can take salt instead of sugar, right? And then you put a salt instead of sugar or sugar instead of salt in a dish. That's it. The dish is totally gone. So basically what we're trying to know here is, when we are getting this human form of life, we are having an evolved intelligence. And with this evolved intelligence, we are trying to make this world a wonderful place in terms of the development that we are doing externally. But we have at the same time try and go internally as well. Try and understand. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantaram prapti dhiras tatrana muhyati. So this is what we have to understand in this human form of life. That because there is a presence of the proprietor of the body within my body, Dehi, there is childhood, youth and old age. Kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantaram prapti. Similarly, when the duration of this body is over, I'll give up this body. Dhiras tatrana muhyati. A sober person does not get bewildered by these changes. So this is what we have to try and understand. And in human form of life only, we have got this wonderful potency to understand our original nature. Jivere swarupaya krishnera nityadas. Krishnasya tatastha shakti bheda bheda prakash. Suryansha yata agni jwala chaya krishnera swabhavika teen prakar shakti haya. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the Jivaya Swarupa, our original nature, is eternally being part and parcel of Krishna. And this can be understood in human form of life. In no other form of life this can be understood. So that is our dharma. When we are in this human form of life, somehow or other, we have to understand our original nature. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. Nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyam. Ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita. What is my original nature? Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. At no point in time, all of us, natva evaham jatunasam natvam nene janadipa nachaiva na bhavishyama sarve vaya tatparam. Krishna mentions to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, oh Arjuna, there was never a time when all these kings were not existing. Natva evaham jatunasam natvam na ime janadipa. Nor you nor me. Sarve vaya atah param. So all of us, it's not that when my body is born, I come into existence. When my body dies, I go out of existence. That is the understanding of not in a human species of life. Okay, so in an animal species of life, the intelligence is not that much developed. So in that species, an animal can think like that. That when I am died, when my body dies, I am gone. But in human form of life, we have to understand our original nature. And this is what, when we are trying to understand the work of Sri Jiva Goswami or the life of Sri Jiva Goswami, this is what is helping us. So when we are doing this, what is happening is, since time immemorial, we have been taking birth after birth after birth after birth. Punarapi jananam, maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Srila Shankaracharya mentions in Bhaja Govindam. Constantly taking birth, constantly dying, constantly in the womb of one mother and another mother. Iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pani murare. Shankaracharya says that, oh Lord, oh Krishna, it is so difficult to cross over this continuous cycle of birth and death. Please give your costless mercy so that I can cross over this seemingly insurmountable cycle of birth and death, a constant cycle of birth and death. So, when we are engaging in discussing about Srila Jiva Goswami and the pure devotees of Krishna, Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tanaparo, Premamritam Lahari, Dhira Dhira Janapriyo Priyakaro, Nirmat Saro Pujito, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. So there is a Shat Goswami Ashtakam. So in the Shat Goswami Ashtakam, it is glorifying the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are helping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bring in the Krishna consciousness in this whole world. So what is mentioned about the 6 Goswamis is they are constantly engaged in Krishna Kirtana Ganana Kanaparav. Constantly they are engaged in Krishna Kirtana Ganana, constantly glorifying Krishna. Prema Amritamda Lahari, Dhira Dhira Janapriyo Priyakaram. So they are amicable to people who are sober and to people who are not sober as well. Dhira Dhira Janapriyo. Both of them like the 6 Goswamis. How is it that a person who is not sober likes the 6 Goswamis? What is the reason? Because they are very compassionate. So when someone sees someone really compassionate, they will somehow or other, even though they are in a very low stage of life, somehow or other they will get that mercy. So that's why in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned, Titikshava Karunika Suhridam Sarvadehina Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhavo Sadhu. It is mentioned about the qualities of a person who is a pure devotee of Krishna. So the quality is Titikshava, forbearance, Karunika, merciful, Suhridam Sarvadehina, the best friend of all living entities, Ajata Shatrava, for whom an enemy is not born. Such a wonderful statement. So for a pure devotee there is no enemy. Even though the other person might be enemy to the pure devotee, but the actual pure devotee is seeing that somehow or other this person has got this kind of body, and because of that, body, mind, false ego, because of that they are acting like that. But originally, everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. And so that is the vision of a pure devotee. Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyet bhagavat bhavam atmana bhutani bhagavati atmani esha bhagavat uttama. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, the quality of a uttama adhikari. And so Srila Jiva Goswami is uttama adhikari, the topmost devotee of Krishna. So what is the quality? Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyet bhagavat bhavam atmana. And so whenever the pure devotee is seeing any person, they are seeing them as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Bhutani bhagavati atmani esha bhagavat uttama. So this is the vision of the pure devotee of Krishna. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, a really learned person, he'll see different categories of living entity, but he'll always see that everyone is directly related to Krishna. And so this is the view of Srila Jiva Goswami. So we see that Jiva Goswami is the youngest of the Goswamis. Of the 6 Goswamis, we have Sri Rupa Sanātana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Echhaye Gosaye Kare Charana Vandan, Yaha Hote Vigna Nashe Abhishta Puran. This is mentioned by Narottam Das Thakur. So Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamananda Prabhu, and Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, they are all wonderful stalwarts, pure devotees of Krishna. They were all given guidance by Srila Jiva Goswami. So such a wonderful person Srila Jiva Goswami was. So he was the son of Anupama, and Anupama was the brother of Rupa Goswami and Sanātana Goswami. And so he was and therefore Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanātana Goswami are the uncle of Srila Jiva Goswami. So he is the nephew of Rupa Goswami and Sanātana Goswami. And it is said that when he was 3 years old in Ramakeli, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come there, and that is the time when, at that age, at the age of 3 years, he had the darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given him full mercy, because of which he became a wonderful scholar. He has written 400,000 verses across his different books. 400,000 verses. And is stalwart in terms of, so he has got a Hari Nama Vyakarana. So learning Sanskrit through the names of Lord. So he has done that. He has written Gopala Champu, that is the pastimes of Krishna, in both prose and poetry. And then he has written Shat Sandarbha, the 6 tops and the 6 essences of the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. And so today, in this discussion, we are going to talk about the Shat Sandarbha that is written by Srila Jiva Gosvami. So he writes in terms of the 3 aspects that we as the living entities can develop. In the human form of life, we can do 3 different things. The first thing is Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan is our knowledge about our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the next is Abhideya. Abhideya means what I should do so that I can regain my original love for Krishna. This is a wonderful thing that we have to understand. It is not that Krishna Prema is something external. It is not. Everyone has Krishna Prema within themselves. So there is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita which says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabho Noy. So what does it mean? The Krishna Prema, love for Krishna, is Nitya Siddha. It is eternally existing within us, and it is not Sadhya. It is not something external that I have to go and attain. It is not external. It is internally there in each and every living entity. And Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabho Noy. Then how do I know that it is there within me? Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korvaya. So when I try to hear about Krishna, this is a very important thing. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So this is mentioned by Srila Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. He mentions the 9 different kinds of devotional service that we can engage in. It starts with Shravanam, hearing about the Lord. Shravanam. So when we are hearing about the Lord, then what we can do? Kirtanam. We can talk about the Lord. When we have Shravanam and Kirtanam, then we have Smaranam. We can remember the Lord. Then Padasevanam. We can engage in the service of the Lord. Archanam. We can offer flowers to the Lord. Vandanam. We can say prayers to the Lord. Dasyam. We can become the servant of the Lord. Sakhyam. We can actually become the friend of the Lord, like Arjuna. Sakhyam and Atmanivedanam. We can totally surrender oneself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj is an example. Bali Maharaj was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And he was the Daityas. He was the ruler of the demons. Right? So he was a very influential person. He was in control of all the 3 worlds. But because he was the ruler of the demons, there were some problems that were happening. And therefore, he had to be removed. So then Krishna came in as Vamana Avatar, as a dwarf Brahmana. And when he appeared as a dwarf Brahmana, his guru, Shukracharya, Bali Maharaj's guru, Shukracharya said that, don't give anything to this person. This person is going to come and ask something from you. Don't give him anything. But Bali Maharaj said no. So this is the pure devotional service for Krishna. And so he was so much attracted to Vamanadev that he wanted to give Vamanadev whatever Vamanadev wanted to ask. And Vamanadev said that give me 3 steps of land. So Bali Maharaj said, you can ask for something else. You're dwarf Brahmana and you just want 3 steps of land. Then Vamanadev said, no, that's fine. I want only 3 steps of land. And then we see it becomes gigantic, and with 2 steps, he has all the worlds covered. And he says, where should I place my 3rd step? And Bali Maharaj says, please place this on my head. So this is Atmanivedanam. So total surrender onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what is the goal of engaging in devotional service of Krishna. So Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. Devarshi Bhutapta Vrinam Pitrinam Na Kinkaram Nayam Rinicha Rajan Sarvatmanaye Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. So when we are in that state of mind of total absorption in Krishna, so then there is no debt that the person has. Actually, when we are born, there is lots and lots of debt we have. We are born with lots and lots of debt. What is the debt? The first is the debt to the parents, because parents are actually giving me this body through which I can engage in devotional service of the Lord. So parents, the forefathers, the rishis who are giving the knowledge, Pitranam. So all this, there are so many debts. So what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying is, Sarvatmanaye Sharanam Sharanyam. Sharanam Sharanyam. Total surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvatma. So Krishna is the super soul. He is the soul. So whatever Upadrashta, Anumanta, cha Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara, Paramatmeti, cha Abhiyukto, Dehesmin, Purusha Para. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that he is present as Paramatma and he is overseeing the activities of all the living entities. Upadrashta. So whatever the living entity wants to do, the super soul is looking at it, overseer. And Anumanta. If a living entity is really obstinate to do a particular activity, Krishna gives the permission. Okay, you do. The example given is that of a child. A child, sometimes the parent would say, don't do to the child. But the child will be obstinate and they will anyway do it. And what will happen? If something is wrong, for example, they say, don't go and touch the fire. And then the child goes and touches the fire. He'll get burned. So this is what happens, unfortunately, in this conditioned existence. In the conditioned existence, somehow or other, we are not able to hear what Krishna is saying as Paramatma. And because of that, we are constantly in a cycle of conditioned existence, action and reaction, constantly. So we are talking about the Shat Sandarbha and we were talking about the Sambandha Jnana. Sambandha is the relationship. Then the next is Abhideya. Abhideya means, what do I do to understand this relationship? To know that I am already related to Krishna. What are the activities that I should be doing? That is Abhideya. And then the final is Prayojana. Prayojana is the attainment of the goal. So the Shat Sandarbha that Srila Jiva Goswami has composed, it is talking about these three topics: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Our relationship with Krishna, what I should do so that I know that I am related to Krishna, and then the goal, going to the state of in an existential and in a practical experiential state of being in that relationship with Krishna. So that is Prayojana. So Srila Jiva Goswami has the 6 topics that he mentions. The 6 topics, it starts with Tattva Sandarbha. So there are four for Sambandha. Sambandha Jnana, there is 4. Tattva, Bhagavata, Paramatma. So there are Tattva, Bhagavata, and Paramatma. So these are the different aspects of Sambandha Jnana. So Tattva means understanding our constitutional position. Okay, so Jiva Tattva. So we are a Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva means we are in a Tatastha Shakti. So Krishna has got 3 types of energy, right? So he has got Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. So he has got his internal potency, he has got his external potency, and then he has got his marginal potency. So we are, as the living entities, we are in the marginal potency. What does it mean? It means that at any moment, I can either choose to be with internal energy of Krishna or external energy of Krishna. Every moment I have that choice. So this is a Tattva Jnana. So how do I have a choice if I am not compulsively behaving like something? What happens is, since time immemorial, I have got this Sthula Sharira. The Sthula Sharira means the mind, intelligence, and false ego. So how is it that someone, when they are born, they have this wonderful talents and different other things? We see that, yeah? So generally they talk, in the scientific terminology, they talk about DNA, right? Deoxyribonucleic acid. they say that the DNA comes from the parents. So that is a physical aspect. But then we have got a software aspect as well. So we have got a hardware, just like if you have a phone, in the phone you have got a hardware and a software, isn't it? The hardware is actually what we have, and the software is the operating system and the apps and everything that run on this phone. Similarly, the body has got hardware and software, right? So the hardware is my body itself, the skeleton, the muscle, whatever is happening. Software is mind, intelligence, and false ego. So everyone knows mind exists. That is a study of psychology. So that's why we have got the psychology, a separate study in science. And people who are going through depression and all, they go to psychologists and they take consultation, right? So why? Because the mind is there and the mind is getting depressed. So I have to go to take consultation and try and understand why I'm in depressed condition. So that is the software that we have, right? So mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mind is actually the scripture. The scriptures give the example of the body as a chariot. Atma nakvam rathinam vidhi shariram ratham evacha. So the scripture is saying that the real us who is never born and never dies, is the passenger. Atma nakvam rathinam vidhi shariram ratham evacha. The body is a chariot. Mana tu pragraham vidhi buddhim tu sarathim vidhi. So the intelligence is the charioteer. And mana pragraham evacha. The reins is the mind. Indriyani hayanaho. The horses are the five senses. So basically what is happening is, we are like, the body is like a chariot. The person, the eternal person within us, within this chariot is the person, is the passenger. The intelligence is the charioteer. The mind is the rein, and the five horses are the five senses. So what has to happen in a normal course? If I want to go from one destination to another destination, what happens in a normal course? The passenger will say that I have to go to this destination, right? And then the person who is in the charioteer, he will take the rein of the horses and he will ask the horse to go in the direction where I have to go. That is a normal course. But what is happening in our conditioned existence? The conditioned existence, what is happening is, the horses are just going. The horses are going in their own direction. The wheel is totally out of control. The charioteer doesn't know what to do. And the passenger is confused. Passenger doesn't know where to go. No destination. So actually, there is. I might just go into a little bit, digress from a really spiritual aspect, but this is also related. This man's search for meaning. There is a guy called Viktor Frankl who had actually gone through this what is it called, concentration camp. Very hard times he had gone through. And he talks about a thing called logotherapy in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. What he talks is, if a person does not have purpose, if a person has purpose in life, he can bear anything and he can still exist. But if a person does not have any purpose, they will just be, even they might have all the happiness that they have, but they will still feel unsatisfied. So that is the truth, The purpose, everyone should have a purpose in life. What should be the purpose in life? And when that purpose is there, all the other things doesn't matter, because I'm always gearing towards my purpose. And what is the most important purpose in the human form of life? To understand, who am I? Kastvam koham kutayata, kame janani kame tata. This is said by Shankaracharya in Bhaja Govinda. So Shankaracharya says that I have to understand from where I have come. Kastvam koham, who am I? Kutayata, from where I have come. Kame janani kame tata. Who is my mother? Who is my father? So it is not. If we take it in a very practical way, I know my mother and father because the body is given by my mother and father. But if we try to go into the deeper aspects of who is my mother and father, Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, Tvameva bandhushya sakha tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. This is a very beautiful verse in the scriptures. where it is said that, "Oh Krishna, you are my mother and you are my father. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhushya sakhavatame. You are my relative and you are my friend. Tvameva vidya, you are my knowledge and you are my wealth. You are my everything, O Lord." And so this is the real understanding. And so when we know that, as Krishna says, "Aham sarvasya prabho, matra sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samandita." Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that when one knows that everything is coming from me, aham sarvasya prabhava, matra sarvam pravartate, iti matva, when one knows this clearly, bhajante ma, person engages in the loving devotional service of Krishna. Buddha, who is such a person who engages in loving devotional service? A person who is intelligent. How does such a person engage in loving devotional service? Bhava samandita, with full love and emotion for Krishna. So just like in the material sense, when we have this material body and when we are attracted or attached to another person, we have love for that person. So similarly, how much stronger would be the love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Since time immemorial, we are related to Krishna. There was never a time when we were not related to Krishna. And there will be never a time in future when we are not related to Krishna. So how much would be that love for the Lord? There is no end to that love. And so that's why Ashlishiva Padaratam Pinashtumam Adarshana Marmahatam Karotuva Yatha Tatava Vidato Lambato Mat Prananathas Sevanapara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions in the last verse of Shikshashtakam, he says that, "Oh Lord, you do whatever you want to do with me, but you will always be my worshipable Lord." This is the wonderful state of pure devotee of Krishna, that the external doesn't matter to them. Externally, the body might be going through some suffering or whatever it is, but internally, they are always in love with Krishna. So, "Man mana bhava mat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane prayosime." Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, "Man mana bhava, give your mind to me, become my devotee, mad bhakta, madhyaji, mam namaskuru. Offer your prayers to me, offer your obeisances to me. Mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane prayosime." Krishna says that you will surely come to me, Arjuna, and this is the truth. And why I am telling this to you? Because you are so dear to me. Pratijane prayosime. So we were talking about the Tattva Sandarbha, right? So in the Tattva, there is a Tattva Sandarbha, there is Bhagavata Sandarbha, there is Paramatma Sandarbha, and there is Krishna Sandarbha. So Tattva is the understanding of who am I. Then when I understand who am I, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdayate. So that is Tattva. I understand that Krishna can be known in three different phases: as Brahman, as Paramatma, and as Bhagavan. Now, Brahman is this understanding of the Lord, which does not have any qualities, without any qualities. That is the Brahman understanding. Paramatma understanding is the localized presence of the Lord in the heart of all the living entities. Sarvasya Chaham Hridaya. And the Bhagavan understanding is the understanding of the Lord with all his qualities. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasa Shriya Jnana Vairagya Shreya Sannamiti Bhagavati Ingara. So Srila Parashara Muni that gives the definition of who is Bhagavan. Bhagavan is one who has got full opulence, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya, who has got full strength, Viryasya, Yasha, who has got full fame, Jnana Vairagya, who has got full beauty, full fame, full knowledge, and full renunciation. So the six qualities, that is Bhagavan. So there is Tattva, Tattva Sandarbha, Bhagavata Sandarbha, then Paramatma Sandarbha. So we have talked about Paramatma Sandarbha, the presence of Krishna as Super Soul. And then the fourth is Krishna Sandarbha, talking about Krishna himself. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is the cause of all causes. So there is a cause that we all are here together. Who is the cause of that cause? Krishna. It is because of Krishna that we are all here together. And so any cause, if we keep on going to the primary cause, then aham evasam evagre nanya yat sadasatparam. Paschad aham yadetacha yo avashishyate sosmiham. Krishna mentions in in Bhagavatam, in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, Krishna says that Aham Evasam. When nothing was existing, it was only Supreme Personality of Godhead was existing. Eva Gre, Nanya Dyat Sada Sat Param. Nothing was existing. Paschad Aham Yadetacha Yo Avashishyate Sosmya. After everything goes out of existence, who remains? Again, the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna. So this is Krishna Sandarbha. So this is the Sambandha Jnana, right? So Tattva, Bhagavata, Paramatma, and Krishna. So these four are Sambandha Jnana. Then we go to the Abhideya. So we are talking about Abhideya. Abhideya is what? Trying to develop that relationship with Krishna. So that is Bhakti Sandarbha. So in the Abhideya, there is Bhakti. And then what is Bhakti? So Srila Narada Muni gives the definition of Bhakti. Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. The first statement of Bhakti is, Srila Narada Muni says that, give up all the designations. That is the starting. So what happens is, when we are born, immediately there is a designation. So I get a particular body. So the designation is, I am the son or daughter of so-and-so. What is the other designation? That I am a citizen of this country. That becomes so strongly inculcated in our body, in our behavior. And unfortunate situation that happens in the whole, in the current context as well, is that all this expansionism and everything, nationalism, is causing the problem. But if I know that there is only one Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everyone can engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to their own time, place, and circumstance, and respect each other, then there will be no problem in this whole universe. The whole problem happens is, I am from this country, and my country is really great, and I have to make this country even more greater. What will happen if we are in that state of mind? It's going to cause unfortunate situation, which is unfortunately we are seeing unfortunately in this world in the current contemporary context. So this engagement in loving devotional service of Krishna, so the Abhideya Tattva, where Narad Muni is saying that Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam, take away all the designations. What does it mean? It means that I'm not Indian, I'm not Irish, I'm not American, I'm not Russian, I'm not Ukrainian, I'm not I'm not from any country. So I'm just an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Each and every one of us. And because of that, I do not disrespect anyone. Because according to the time, place, and circumstance, people engage in whatever type of devotion they want to engage in. Time, place, and circumstance. So that's why we have so many different religions and all these things are happening. Why? Because everyone is different. Each and every type of the faith that is born has been born according to a particular situation that was happening at a particular time, at a particular country. So we have to respect everyone. So when we come from this platform of understanding that everyone, irrespective of externally whatever faith they have, are part and parcel of Krishna, then that is Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. Then what happens? Tat Paratvena Nirmalam. Then I become very pure. When I take out all the designations, the only designation that remains is I am eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Eternal. So I am not talking from the conditioned perspective of when my body was born and when I am going to die. So I am talking from an eternal perspective. I was never born and I will never die, and I am eternally part and parcel of Krishna. So that is Sarvopadi Paratmini Nirmalam. Then what happens is Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam. Then we can engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses. We can even engage without taking off all the designations. So there are two ways, right? And always the way that we do is the latter way. What is the latter way? The latter way is I still have lots and lots of designations, but I still keep myself engaged in hearing about the Lord. So then what happens? Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Kriti Antasto Hi Abhadrani Dhunoti. So this is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said that when we try to hear about Krishna as much as possible, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna, that activity by itself is very pious. Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hearing and chanting, it is very pious. then what happens? Hridi anthustohi abhadrani vidunoti. Whatever conditioned things that are there within my heart, it gets cleansed. So this is what. So that is sarvopadi vinyamuktam. So when I'm cleaning myself, I'm taking out all the designations. So when I take out all the designations, then my senses become pure. And in that purity of the senses, Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevana, I engage in the service of the master of the senses. So that is bhakti. So that is the definition of Srila Narada Muni about then Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushīlanam Bhakti Uttamam. Srila Rupa Goswami gives the definition. Srila Rupa Goswami says that when one does not have any other abhilasha is desires. Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Not even the desire of knowledge and fruitive activities. Because what happens is the fruitive activities is very strongly embedded within the conditioned existence in our case. Why is it strongly embedded? Because whatever action I am doing, I am expecting some result in return. So I do some pious activity and I want some pious things in return. And I do some sinful activities, but I don't want to get anything back in return. Because if I do sinful activities, I'll get bad reaction in return. So this is a conditioned existence. But when we are Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Actually, all the work that we do is being done by the modes of material nature. So we are in mode of goodness now. So therefore, we want to hear and talk about Krishna. When we are in mode of passion, we are interested in engaging in sense gratification. When we are in mode of ignorance, we are lazy. We don't want to do anything. So this is what is happening. There is constantly the three modes of nature are acting on us, and that is what is acting. So actually, the real self, the real eternal self, is eternally in love with Lord, and eternally. So when we are in that state, when we understand that actually all the work is being done by the modes of material nature, then we are coming out of this work from the Preeti Sandarbha. The Preeti Sandarbha is when Krishna says, when we have this Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridhavrata Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nityayukta Upasate Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Preeti Purvakam Dadhami Bhutyogam Tam Yena Mamupayanti. And so Krishna mentions those who are constantly trying to remember me. Satata Yuktanam. Tesham Satata Yuktanam. Yukta means constantly trying to associate with me. Bhajatam, engaging in loving devotional service of me. Preeti Purvakam, with lots of love. So what Krishna says, Dadhami Buddhi Yogam Tam. I give them the intelligence, Yena Mam Upayantite, by which they can come back to me. So this is the kind of the final conclusion of the Shat Sandarbha, if you want to say. So Krishna actually mentions Sarva Guhya Tamam. Krishna says that, "Oh Arjuna, let me tell you the topmost secret. Ishtosi me dridhamiti vakshyami te hitam." Because Arjuna, you are so dear to me, I am telling you the topmost secret. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And what does he say again? Man mana bhava madbhakto madhyachi mam namaskaro mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijani priyosini. And so I think if we want to conclude this wonderful discussion about Srila Jiva Goswami, the most important thing that we can conclude is from the perspective of somehow or other focusing our mind on Krishna. Sa eva mana Krishna padaravindayo vachamsi vaikuntha gunanu vandane. So somehow or other, if we can keep our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, then it is just a matter of time when we are in that state where we are constantly in love with the Lord. And this is what the days like these, when we talk about the disappearance and appearance of great acharyas like Srila Jiva Goswami, this is what we can remember from their activities. So to conclude, let us again say the verse that from which we started. So please repeat. Shri Rupa Charanam Dvandva Raginam Vraja Vasinam Shri Jiva Satatam Vande Mandeshwananda Dainam. So yes, so the Mandeshwananda Dainam is really beautiful because in this age of Kali, somehow we do not have, the intelligence is not being used to understand my real nature. So he is giving Ananda to all the people of this Kali Yuga. Srila Jiva Gosvami. Mandeshwananda Dainam. So with that, thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna. If there is any comments or questions, please do say. Yes, bro.
Thank you for a wonderful lecture.
Thank you.
It's so nice to hear. And you spoke about the bhakti, that which means to get free from all the upadhis or like external things. And we often see that we should consider ourselves like some relate to some varna or some ashram. And so my question is to which extent we should, free ourselves of all the considerations, like any criteria.
Yeah, it's a nice question, Prabhu. So there is this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Varnashrama Charvata Purushena Parapuman Vishnu Aradhyate Panta Nanyat Tatosha Karana. Right. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that the whole concept of engaging in Varna and Ashrama Dharma, Purushena Para Vishnu Aradhyate Pumsa. So the whole concept of engaging in Varna and Ashrama is to worship Lord Vishnu. Tatosha Karanam, to satisfy him. So that is what we have to at the end of. So yena tena prakarena mana krishne niveshe sarve vidhi nishedasyo retayo eva kinkara. It is mentioned some way or the other, keep the mind focused on Krishna. All the other rules and regulations are subservient to this main rule. So that is what I would say. The Varnashrama is important, because it is helping us to get stabilized in this human form of life. The stability is being provided by Varna and Ashrama, because we have this Varna, which is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Ashrama, which is Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Right. So what is it doing? It is stabilizing us. So if I know that I am a Brahmana and I am a Brahmachari, then I know the purpose of what I should be doing. Coming back to the purpose, right? We were talking about purpose. If a person does not have purpose, then they feel lost, literally in this world. So this is what Varnashrama is helping us to understand, that it is giving us a certain sense of purpose of what I should be doing at every moment in my life. So I think it's really important to follow the Varna and Ashrama so that it stabilizes us and helps us to keep our mind fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. But the goal is fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. That should never be forgotten. So is that fine, Prabhu? Okay, thank you very much.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Thank you so much for wonderful words in this wonderful language that we all possess inside our hearts. My question is, as the Bhagavad Gita states that Krishna tells Arjuna to fight, because it's not up to you who's gonna die, who's gonna live. It's I decide. And then on the other hand, you have to be detached from your nationality, and that's what Arjuna does. He detached. He doesn't want to fight because he doesn't see sense in fight against his relatives. Is it contradicting this? Because I love my country and I worship Krishna, and I worship Jesus Christ that is been given to me by my parents and my ancestors, and I also worship pagan gods that has been in my culture for 1,000 years. If I detach myself and ignore that thing, I will not fight for my country that right now is fighting the war in Ukraine. And I will be ignorant, and ignorance is the cause of every disease on this planet. So if you can tell me how can I love my country and serve Krishna and do the fight against the invaders who's coming to my home and saying that you're not living here anymore, how can I love Krishna? Will I have to fight, as he's saying in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, or I have to give up and be in total devotion to God and ignore everything? If you can.
Sure. Thank you very much for your question. It's quite complicated. That's why this material world is not Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means Vigata, Kuntha means anxiety. So spiritual world is a place where there is no anxiety. That's why it's called Vaikuntha, Vigata Kuntha, without any anxiety. But material world is full of Kuntha. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Krishna says that this world is a place of misery and it is temporary, which gives us a lot of satisfaction. It is misery, but it's temporary also. So I'm not going to suffer eternally. Of course, it all depends on from which perspective I'm thinking from. If I'm thinking from the perspective of my eternal existence, then I'm never suffering, because eternally I'm related to Krishna. If I'm thinking from this material body, I'm suffering at every moment. So in terms of your question, what's your name?
Les.
Thank you very much for your question, Les. So it's a very good question, and it would depend on. It actually relates to Prabhu's. Prabhu, what's your name?
My name is Narada.
Narada Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah. So
I'm from Ukraine also. So
okay.
I'm relating to that question.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay. Yeah. So it's quite related to what Narada Prabhu asked as a question. Les Prabhu. So it depends on what our natural inclination is. And so if your natural inclination is like a Kshatriya, then you have to defend. Kshatriya actually means Kshat Trayate. Kshat means someone is doing unwanted harm to someone else. Without reason, someone is harming someone else. Then the duty of Kshatriya is to protect the person. So protect the person does not only means protecting other people, you have to defend yourself also. So it will depend on what is your natural presupposition in terms of what you want to do. So it will depend on that. If your natural presupposition is to meditate on Krishna, then meditate on Krishna. Don't fight. But if your natural proposition is to fight, defend, not attack. That's not what we want to do. Defend. Then you should go and defend, do that activity. And so it would depend on person. It will be uniquely dependent on what the nature of the person is. But yes, the nationality and all. So what I'm talking about when I'm saying about the nationality, Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam, it does not mean that we do not do our activities. We have to do our activities because we have been given a body. We have to do our activities. So actually, Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, sa sannyasi sa yogi cha na niragni na chakriya. So he says that he actually says that it's not the person who are anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti. So who is a real renouncer? A real renouncer is not a person who just renounces. No, Krishna doesn't give that. Krishna says that the real renouncer is a person who does the activity without thinking about the result. That I'm doing this, so I should get this much in return. Anashrita karma phalam. Without being dependent on the result of my activity, if I do the activity, that is a real renouncer. Sa sannyasi sa yogi cha. That is a real devotee. Na niragnir na chakriya. Not a person who does not do anything or who does not cook anything. So Krishna is very clear there. So, and that's why Krishna advises Arjuna to fight as well. But the renunciation part will come into picture according to the nature of the individual. So Arjuna was not his dharma was not as a Brahmin to renounce and pray. His dharma was Kshatriya. He had to fight. So that's why he was fighting. Thank you.
Probably on the same thing. You said it's natural inclination of whatever you are. You understand like you're Kshatriya or Brahmin. But how do we identify that? Previous times there were gurukuls and gurus used to teach for certain period of time and then they used to tell okay, you are going to do this, you are going to do this, Kshatriya, Brahman, this work. But now it's not the case in Kali Yuga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think they say everything is Shudra here. So how do we identify our natural inclination? It's very difficult in these times. How we are grown up from in the educational system. It's just a factory of making Shudras, not identifying the natural potential of person. So what should we do in this case?
Yeah, very good question, Prabhu. Yes. Prabhu, what's your name? Prabhu? Akash. So Akash Prabhu is asking about how do we know in the current context that we are in this Varna or we are in this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So actually, there is a verse in the scriptures which says, "Janmana jayate Shudra, samskarat bhavet Dvija, Veda pathat bhavet Vipra, Brahma janati iti Brahmana." So as we are born as a Shudra. Janmana jayate Shudra, samskarat bhavet Dvija. When we get the samskaras, when we develop our knowledge, then we become twice born. It's called Dvija. Then Veda Pathat Bhavet Vipra. When we study the Vedas in depth, then we become knowledgeable. And Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. One who knows Brahman is actually a Brahmana. A Brahman is knowing that Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha. So that is Krishna. Now Krishna has established Brahman. And so that is Brahmana. So in terms of your question, one will know for sure, if we try and understand, if we try and be at peace with ourselves. That is very important in the current contemporary context. What happens is there are so many distractions, hundreds and thousands of distractions are available to us. Because of that, we never find time for ourselves. we are always into something or other. So if we have first of all try and find time for ourselves and try and understand. Try and be with ourselves. Then we'll understand what our natural inclination is. Then we can, do the activities according to our natural inclination.
The natural inclinations, you said we should take some time for ourselves and we get to know. But what I think in now times, if we are doing something practicing something, even though our natural potency or propensity is not to do that, but practicing it, we can be Kshatriya. Anyone who, in Gita, Krishna also says, if you practice, you can achieve anything. So even if my propensity is, let's say, Brahmanic, and I am practicing Kshatriya, I can do that work perfectly, but I won't be happy in that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So here, it's very difficult. In our educational systems, we are practicing something, and we are doing good at that. But it's not that we are going to say that okay, I am doing this good, but I will be Kshatriya only, or let's say for the best thing that we are doing. So this thing sometimes confuse me a lot. So my main question over here is in this Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to understand with this bewildered mind that who you are. So what I think is I want to answer from you. I have been searching for this answer a long time. In Kali Yuga, can we say our Varn is dynamic? Whatever at the moment you are doing, you are that person. Is it like that, or it's lifetime? You can say you are a Brahmin, you are a Kshatriya, you are a Vaishya Shudra. How do we define this?
Yeah, so in Kali Yuga, it is basically Kalau Shudra Sambhava. So unfortunately, Kali Yuga majority of population is in the Shudra category, because generally the Brahmana, the concept of Brahmana is that they are independent. What does it mean? They are not working for any money. That is a real Brahmana, because they are totally engaged in loving devotional service to Krishna. So in that space, there is no, they don't think about money at all. Whatever comes, they accept. So that is Brahmana. So where do we see? In the current context, unfortunately, everyone thinks about money. How can I earn? Where can I earn? That person is not Brahmana. Which person can I serve? Which company can I go to? That is the thinking. How much money can I? So that means that is the Shudra. Whenever someone is working for someone, it is Shudra. Then we have the Vaishya. The people who are in the business. So they are the entrepreneurial type of people. So someone who has got that entrepreneurial thinking and business thinking, who likes to create new startups and things like that. They are like Vaishyas. They are in the Vaishya category. And then Shudra we discussed, Vaishya we discussed, Kshatriya, the people, administrative class, people who are managing things, they are Kshatriya. And then Brahmana. Brahmana are the people who are the priestly class. Even now we have priestly class. There will be some people who are doing purely, doing the yajnas and all those things according to the Vedic rituals. Rik, Sama, Yajurva, Atharva. So they are Brahmanas. So what I would say here is, it's not dynamic. We've got a static thing within us. When we get a body, we've got a static. We have got something. But then people become dynamic because of the circumstances, right? So that is what happens. But actually, Krishna says, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasham. The four varnas, it is according to Guna and Karma. Guna is quality and Karma is activity. It's not, Krishna doesn't say Janma Vibhagasham. It's not according to birth. So it is according to Guna and Karma, quality and activity. So whatever quality, and we are kind of born with a particular quality. Of course, we can, as you said, we can learn something, but that is something extra endeavor that we are doing to get outside our normal mode. But we always will have a normal mode, So therefore, Krishna says, Swadharma Nidhanam Shreya, Paradharma Bhayavaha. So Krishna actually says to us, because Arjuna wanted to leave the battlefield, right? So Krishna says that when you're doing your own dharma, even if you die in your own dharma, that is even better than doing someone else's dharma. So it is. So I hope you got the answer, is it? Or is there a?
So like in Kali Yuga, like everything is everyone is doing dynamic things, right? What I can see, like I can't see anyone who's from like childhood, like doing the same thing and like excelling in that. Everyone tries to do different variety of works, everything there. So like these dynamics kind of things doing, is it a quality of Shudra or some specific person, let's say Brahmana or Kshatriya? Like it's very difficult to say or understand yourself what you are actually. So currently, like the things we are doing, I think we all are Shudra.
Yes.
Nobody is like perfect.
Yes. That is right. It is mentioned in the scriptures as well. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. So majority is in the Shudra.
So,
I was just thinking that as well, though, that you're saying it as well, and it's very hard for yourself to understand who you are, what you're doing. So that's why that whole system is there as well. That you have a spiritual guide who's able to actually recognize that
yes.
in you, and what is the best activity that you can do for in your current situation.
Yes.
To bring you closer and closer to Krishna. So that they can give that kind of advice, just by actually knowing you more, knowing you better, and then of course we have to actually try to develop more people like that who can do that.
Yes.
So it's just like Prabhu there. He's very Brahminical. He's getting. That's another thing about not just doing yogas and stuff, but who's giving talk and giving instruction and giving information of what to do. that this is also become very practical. And I think Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were very, very practical people. They used to live in the village, and people would go to them and ask them and talk to them, and so we need to develop those kind of relationships so that we can actually accept people like that who are able to actually give us that type of direction as soon as possible.
Yes, so as Manu Prabhu was saying, like for example, spiritual master. So that's why Krishna mentions Tat Vidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadrikshanti Jnana Jnaninas Tattvadarshina. So approaching the spiritual master with humility, then the spiritual master will be able to help the person to understand. Because it's always the concept that we have in the contemporary world about mentors and all. So Guru is the way to. So the Guru will be able to make us aware, what our real qualities are, what activities we should be doing. That is another aspect as well. Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry?
Yeah, it answers.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Govinda. All glories to Shri Govinda. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhagavate Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paschata Deshakariне. Sarvam Shri Krishna Pramastu Krishna Matirastu Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So let's give a big Hari Bol for Prabhuji for Hari Bol. Also, there's a very good news for everybody. Those who are from India, they all know that on next Monday, there's a very big thing happening. What is happening? So from all the way from Ayodhya, we are now welcoming, just in few minutes, the sacred Kalash from all the way from Ayodhya for blessing, to give blessings to all of you. The Kalash is coming all the way from Ayodhya to Iskcon Dublin in few minutes, and then we will have Kirtan, Aarti, and we will distribute some Akshata, Prasad from Ayodhya for everybody. Hari Bol!
Hari Bol!
Lord Shri Ram ki
Jai!
Chandra Bhagwan ki
Jai!
Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki
Jai!
So we'll start the Kirtan, and then once the Kalash will be here, then we'll start the Aarti. And then after that, we have one more good news and other news for you all. So just wait for Aarti, and then we will share the news with everybody. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol!
So meanwhile, Prabhuji is coming with the accordion. We'll chant some Ram Nam. Yeah? So when I say Ram Lakshman Janki, you will say Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki. When I will say Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki, you have to say Ram Lakshman Janki. Okay? Ram Lakshman Janki.
Jai Bolo Hanuman ki!
Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki.
Ram Lakshman Janki!
Ram Lakshman Janki.
Jai Bolo Hanuman ki!
Ram Lakshman Janki.
Jai Bolo Hanuman ki!
Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki.
Ram Lakshman Janki!
Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki.
Ram Lakshman Janki!
Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman. Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman.
Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman! Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman!
Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman. Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman.
Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman! Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman!
Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman. Sita Ram Lakshman Bhatta Hanuman.
Sita Ram Sita
Start Aarti, and then we will get blessings from Ayodhya Dham in the form of Akshatas. We will like to request Manu Prabhu for
Jaya Jaya Kula Chande Jayo Jayo Gaura Chande Jagamana Lobha आपका कौन है? कौशल का
Oh! Krishna and Lord Ram and Harinam. Who all want? Anybody wants the blessings, then keep your hands in the air like this and try to jump. Those who will jump, their sins will be gone. But where will we go? We will go on those who will not jump. So raise your hands in the air. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. हाथ ऊपर करके everyone will keep their hands in the air and say जय जय श्री राम
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 जय श्री राम।
So those who can go down, they can go down for paying obeisances. जो झुक सकते हैं वो झुक के प्रणाम करेंगे.
Jai Om Vishnupada Mahansa Parikara Jai Stotram Sita Shri Shrimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Iskcon Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki
Jai.
Premziko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki
Jai.
Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ke
Jai.
Vrindavan Dham Ke
Jai.
Mayapur Dham Ke
Jai.
Jagannath Puri Dham Ke
Jai.
Jamuna Maya Ke
Jai.
Ganga Maya Ke
Jai.
Tulsi Devi Ke
Jai.
Bhakti Devi Ke
Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ke
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ke
Jai.
Prihatma Ganga Transcendental Book Distribution Ke
Jai.
Iskcon Ireland Ke
Jai.
Panchatattva Ke
Jai.
Go Premanande
Haribo.
Glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. So we all can sit. We all can sit because we will get an opportunity to get the blessings of Lord Sri Ram. Before that, I would like to thank Sri Sanjay ji, who gave us this opportunity to get the blessings of Sri Ram ji and Ayodhya Dham.
Haribo.
Also, we would like to thank our sponsor for today's Prasad, Geeta Mataji. She is not here, but we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra together for praying Shri Pancha Tattva to give her blessings on this day, because today and tomorrow, some people are celebrating today, some will be celebrating tomorrow, the Makar Sankranti. So let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Sanjay ji and Geeta Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So before proceeding further, before getting blessings, we would like to announce some great news. Yes, our temple president, Sri Manu Prabhuji, will be sharing the news with us. That's a big Haribol.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna. For the last 40 years, we've been trying to get a temple outside Dublin, which would kind of facilitate a few more people than we can fit here. Now we're in negotiation at the moment to see can we get a piece of land which we will be able to build a temple on, and which we will also be able to do some growing, some cow protection, so many other activities. But it's still a little bit away from us. There's a few of us have been racking our brains all week to see could we somehow come up with some opportunity for all of us to partake in something like this, because it's coming away. It's actually, we're hoping next year to start looking, but suddenly some place has come up. I can't really say where it is yet because, but it's not far from Dublin. It's about 26 kilometers away. And we are trying our best. Now, it's not easy because we're a little bit short on what the demands are for the particular place. And so far, we need to come up. Okay, I'll have to hit the hard figures because it does come down to that sometimes. We have to come up with a deposit of €300,000. So to date, if you really listen, we have achieved the figure of €85,000 towards that
Haribo.
Now, that does leave us a little bit short, but the good news is we are hoping to get another €130,000 from one of our other temples. Now, that's not yet in stone, but we're hoping that will happen. So basically, that would leave us with something like 85,000 euros short. But we're still, some of us are being kind of racking our brains how to actually achieve that, you know. And so if we had all of those things together, we'd be in a very strong position. But so today, basically on this special day, but actually for the next month, we're going to try to fundraise really seriously, to see can we come up with. I think that if we even could come up with 25% of that, which is about 20,000, if we could come up with that, we would be in a much stronger position. We've done a lot of calculations. We're talking to people. We're asking people. We're begging people. Ultimately, it's dependent on Krishna. Ultimately, it's dependent on Krishna. We think that this is where he wants, but ultimately it may not be what we think it is. So that's actually Krishna. He's in control. God is the controller of all of these things. We're just the servants. We're trying our best, and we're doing everything within our power to help with that. So from today onwards, towards that 21,000 euros. From today onwards, we're taking any donation anybody can give towards that. And we have these kind of QR codes around the temple. All you have to do is put your phone in, put onto that and say 10 euros, 5 euros, 20 euros, whatever, whatever you can give, or maybe 10,000 euros. I mean, it can happen. Do you know what I mean? It's not beyond the realms of possibilities. In fact, actually, to encourage everybody, of the 85,000 that we have, I was lucky to come up with 10,000 myself, and so that's I'm not asking anybody to do something I haven't done myself, which is it's important. But actually, another very, 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 very important way in which we can actually do this is if we take out a direct debit from now onwards. Because you have to remember that will put us in a position of strength, especially when we're going to ask for the 130,000. But also, when people see that that's built up, if we had, for instance, 20 people, we worked out this on the other day. If 20 people could give 50 euros per month, but it could be 25 euros, but if 50 people could give that, then we're in a much stronger position. Or whatever anybody could give, 5 euros, 10 euros, 25, 50, 108, whatever. It puts us in a very strong footing, both with the banks, but also with our other donors, because they don't want to give unless they see that, wait a minute, it's your place, what are you guys doing? So that's really what we're actually asking about. So, we will have, I'm going to put this out on the bank code, all of that, on the WhatsApp groups, because we've got over 1,000 people on that, and also on any other groups that we have. The actual way in which you can help towards this. I also have today, we have the QR codes, we have these card machines. If anybody wants to donate something, they can just give this today, and I'll give them a receipt for what they've given. But as I said to you, the target, the short-term target, I think that if we can come up with 21,000 euros in the next month or so, maybe a little bit longer, and if we had 20 people giving to direct debit, we would be very close. But I know I can't guarantee, because these things, they're in Krishna's hands. But whatever the case is, which if you donate towards this, very soon we will have a land in which to build an amazing temple for Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we will thank Prabhuji for inspiring us and for asking us. Today is very special day, and this time which we are seeing now, we are very fortunate that we are seeing Lord Ram's temple coming up in Ayodhya, and he sent the blessings for all of us. But what's our duty now? To spread the name of Lord Ram to each and everyone in this country and outside this country as well. So how we can spread? So temples are the place from where this name, the power of the name, and Lord himself goes to everyone in every corner. So let's come together for this cause and take some pledge today. Get the blessing of Lord Ram, that Lord Ram, we will also build your temple in this city, in this country, for you, for others. So we are looking forward for at least 20 people for this week who will pledge direct debits. Why we are saying direct debits? Direct debits is a method by which we can show to the bank legally that we have that many people who are supporting our project. If we will get some money directly from the people every month or something, then we are able to borrow more money from the bank to buy the land. And that's a process, part of the process. So your direct debit, let's say you all are donating already in the temple, maybe in donation box or other services, let's say. But if you will give direct debits, that's a more visible to the banks that who is sending the money, and that's a regular income of the temple, so they can borrow us more money. So 25 euro, 50 euro, 100 euro, whosoever has that much capacity. Let's say if somebody is student, don't have much money, they are just doing part-time job. If they are really interested, they can even give 11 euros. That's a very small, if you go any restaurant, one small plate, one small food of burger or any chips, it costs 12 euro, 13 euro. Even a coffee costs 6 euros. Can't we give up 2 coffees a month for Krishna? Can't we give up 2 times of our food which we are eating outside rather than we can eat at our home just for Krishna, so that we can build a temple? So those who are interested just for this cause, for direct debits, those who can take the pledge to help building this temple can come forward, can give their names to us today. Then we can inform like how small part of the team who will be helping to build this temple. Also, if you have some friends, your knowns, who also want to contribute towards this cause, you can connect with them as well. So, next part, let's move ahead. Those who are interested, they can come forward to us. Is anybody wants to announce now that they are interested, or they want to come forward later? Okay, you want to announce? What's your name, Prabhu? So, Srikant Prabhu is interested. Hari Bol. Anybody else who is interested for monthly service? Sunil Prabhu, 2 members. Hari Bol. Sanket Prabhu, 3. Sudarshan Vasudev Prabhu, 4. Mataji, 5. Anybody else? Giridhar Prabhu, 6. Tanuj Prabhu, 7. Kaushal Prabhu, 8. Hari Bol. Kaushal Prabhu is a student here. He just started his part-time job. He's saying, so big Hari Bol for him. Hari Bol. 8. We got 8 devotees just now. Hari Bol. So if you are interested, don't want to announce your name now, you can come to us later. So now we will go for Narsimha Aarti, and then we can take blessings of Lord Ram. Prabhuji, Sanjay Prabhu and Sunil Prabhu is here, who will guide you. You have to go in front. They will give you some hat to put on your head, because you can't keep the kalash without keeping something on head. So then you can keep that blessings on your head, and we will also give you some akshat, some rice, which are also coming all the way from Ayodhya. We have that rice. You can keep those rice at your home as a blessings. Hari Bol. So Nursing Aarti by Kaushal Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityur Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityur Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai 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 Narasimha, Lalladeshwar, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bhinga. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha, Lalladeshwar, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bhinga. Namaste Namaste
Hare Krishna. Forgot to announce two more things. First thing is next week, which is 21st of January, just one day before the opening of the birthplace temple of Lord Sri Ram, we are also celebrating special Sunday program for Lord Ram, dedicated to Lord Ram. So next Sunday program is for Lord Ram and Lord Krishna. Hari Bol. So in Hindi we can say Ek Sham Ram Ke Naam. So one evening for Lord Ram. Also every month, because 1st January Kirtan Utsav, everybody liked it and appreciated it. Everybody gave a huge support and huge support and huge enthusiasm. So we are announcing every month, last Sunday, we will do Kirtan Utsav, 12 to 5 hours of Kirtan every Sunday, then Aarti and Prasad. Hari Bol. So next Sunday, special program, Ram Katha, Aarti, Prasad. If anybody would like to support or anybody would like to sponsor for anything, they can also contact to us. Because it's the day for Lord Ram, we all should come together for temple and devotees. Hari Hari Bol. Now we will go for the Prasad in the Govinda's restaurant, but we have to maintain the cleanliness in the restaurant. But before that, if you want the blessings, you can go ahead and you can take the blessings of Lord Ram's Kalash, sacred Kalash. And you can keep that Kalash on your head. But you have to follow the procedure. So go just one by one in the front and get the blessings. And then come ahead for the Prasad in the restaurant. Hare Krishna. And those who want to volunteer for Prasad distribution, they can go ahead and go for Prasad distribution. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we will give in the front. Yeah. Yeah, just go in the queue, please. Just go in the queue. Everybody will get the chance, will get the opportunity, but just go in the queue and follow the process and procedure. Just give one more time big thanks to Sanjay Prabhu and his wife. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Jai Jai Shri Ram! Jai Jai Shri Ram!
Ladies, come this side.
Hari Bol!
Just get the kalash. The akshatas for everybody. Yeah. Sir pe rakho.
Shri Ramchandra Ji ki Jai! Shri Ramchandra Ji ki Jai! रघुवंशीय राम चंद्र जी की जय। सीताराम जय श्री राम 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 जय श्री राम।